Why does the world's most advanced bomber have no tail? It's not just a design quirk, it's a clue. A clue to how the B-2 Spirit became the planet's most invisible warplane. Look at it from behind, and something's missing. No vertical fin, no rudder, no tail like you'd see on a typical fighter or jetliner. That missing piece isn't an accident, it's the whole point. Every straight edge on a plane reflects radar, and if you're flying deep into enemy territory like Moscow or Beijing, you don't want to be seen at all. The B-2 isn't built for speed, it's built for silence on radar, thermal scans, and even to the naked eye. But here's the twist, removing the tail made it nearly impossible to fly. So, how did they solve that? And why haven't other nations built anything like it? The B-2 Spirit looks unlike any other bomber. No tail, no sharp angles, just a smooth, flat triangle slicing through the sky like a shadow. It entered service in 1997 but traces its roots to the Cold War. Built by Northrop Grumman, it was designed to penetrate Soviet airspace undetected. The U.S. Air Force wanted a plane that could deliver nuclear weapons without being spotted by radar, infrared, or satellites. That ambition came with a cost. Over $2 billion per aircraft. Only 21 were built, and today, just 20 remain operational. The B-2 is so costly and complex to maintain that it's often housed in climate-controlled hangars at Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri. But it's not the price that makes the B-2 unique, it's its capabilities. The Spirit can carry both conventional and nuclear bombs. It can fly over 6,000 nautical miles without refueling and over 10,000 with a tanker. Its wingspan is massive, 52 meters wide, yet it's eerily quiet in the air. Thanks to its stealth profile, it can reach high-value enemy targets like hardened bunkers or mobile missile launchers without triggering radar alarms. What sets it apart even more? Only the United States has this plane. No other country has built anything quite like it. The biggest visual clue that you're looking at something different is that missing tail. The B-2's shape defies normal flight rules, built with one goal, stay unseen. To understand why the tail had to go, we need to know what a tail does and why stealth aircraft avoid them. Most planes have a tail, it's not optional. It keeps the plane stable. Vertical fins and horizontal stabilizers at the back steer the aircraft, keep it level, and prevent it from spinning out of control. Think of it like feathers on an arrow, without them, flight becomes unpredictable. But on the B-2, those stabilizing surfaces are gone, and that's deliberate. Why? Radar. Traditional tails create sharp edges and upright surfaces that bounce radar signals back to their source, lighting up the plane like a flare on enemy screens. The B-2's mission is to slip into hostile airspace undetected, and anything that reflects radar, especially vertical surfaces, is a liability. So, Northrop Grumman took a radical approach. They eliminated the tail entirely and designed the aircraft as a flying wing. A flying wing is exactly what it sounds like, just the wing. No fuselage sticking out, no tail at the back, just one smooth, continuous surface from end to end. The entire aircraft is shaped to deflect radar away, not back. The concept isn't new. In the 1940s, Jack Northrop experimented with tailless bombers like the YB-35 and YB-49. They looked futuristic, but the technology to control them didn't exist then. Without onboard computers, they were too unstable to fly safely. Fast forward 40 years, and digital flight systems caught up with the vision. The B-2's tailless design isn't just about dodging radar, it also reduces drag, letting the bomber stay airborne longer. Its smooth surface cuts through the air without the turbulence caused by tail fins. Engine intakes are buried deep in the wing, and even the exhaust is hidden to reduce its heat signature and avoid infrared detection. Every angle, curve, and surface on the B-2 is designed for stealth. But removing the tail came at a cost. The plane is aerodynamically unstable. Without constant adjustments, it would tumble out of the sky. So, how does the B-2 stay airborne? That's where the genius lies, in software that thinks faster than any pilot could. Here's the truth, without computers, the B-2 wouldn't fly. The tailless flying wing design is naturally unstable, it doesn't want to fly straight or stay level. Most pilots couldn't manually control it, especially at high speeds or altitudes. That's where fly-by-wire comes in. Fly-by-wire means the pilot isn't directly controlling the aircraft's surfaces. Every joystick or pedal movement goes to a flight computer, which calculates what the plane needs and sends signals to tiny motors adjusting control surfaces across the wing. We're talking hundreds of corrections per second. If it pitches too far up, the computer tweaks the elevons, combined elevator and aileron surfaces, to nudge it back. If it yaws left, a spoiler on the right wing might pop up to slow it and adjust the heading. The pilot gives inputs, but the computer does the heavy math instantly. Without a vertical stabilizer, the B-2 gets creative with turns and balance. It uses split rudders, panels on the wing's trailing edge that open like clamshells, creating drag on one side to pivot or correct yaw without a tail fin. Spoilers also pop up to disrupt airflow and slow one wing during turns, allowing controlled rotation. Even the engines play a role. More thrust on the left engine than the right subtly steers the bomber right, like paddling a canoe harder on one side. All this is managed by the central flight computer, using sensors, gyroscopes, and algorithms to predict and correct instability before the pilot notices. It's not just smart, it's essential. A small turbulence bump or crosswind could send the aircraft into an uncontrollable roll without this system. With it, the B-2 glides smoothly, even gracefully, across the sky. Its greatest strength is radar evasion. With no vertical stabilizer or sharp angles, radar waves scatter instead of bouncing back. This makes the B-2 nearly invisible to most conventional radars. Its radar cross-section is often compared to a large bird or a small bearing, not because it's tiny, but because that's how it appears on radar. Even advanced radar stations may only pick up a faint blip, and by then, it's likely too late. Then there's altitude. The B-2 flies high, typically above 50,000 feet, allowing it to observe and strike without nearing enemy defenses. Since it doesn't need to dodge radar by flying low through valleys, it conserves fuel, flies straighter, and stays airborne longer. Then there's the range. On one tank, the B-2 can travel over 6,000 nautical miles. With mid-air refueling, it can circle the globe. That's why the U.S. can launch a mission from Missouri, strike targets in the Middle East, and return without landing abroad. It carries 40,000 pounds of weapons, conventional or nuclear, including smart bombs, bunker busters, and stealthy cruise missiles. In a real mission, the B-2 doesn't just sneak in, it hits the target and vanishes, often before enemies realize it was there. All without close-range combat, dogfights, or flares, just precision from afar. That ability to deliver overwhelming force undetected makes the B-2 more than a bomber. It's a ghost with teeth. But it's not perfect. First, it's incredibly hard to fly without computers. Its natural instability means that if the flight control system fails, it's nearly impossible to control, no manual backup, just software or nothing. Then there's the cost. Each B-2 cost about $2.1 billion to build, more than most Navy destroyers. Maintenance is like keeping a supercar spaceworthy. The stealth coating, or radar absorbent material, RAM, needs constant checks and reapplication. A small crack or misaligned panel can increase its radar signature. It requires special climate-controlled hangars because humidity and dust can damage the stealth surface. The paint isn't just paint, it's part of the invisibility. Then there's maneuverability. The B-2 isn't fast, cruising at subsonic speeds of about 630 miles per hour, 1,010 kilometers per hour, slower than most fighters and even older Cold War bombers like the B-1 Lancer. It doesn't turn sharply or have air combat agility. It's built to fly straight, high, and far. Finally, there's visibility. In daylight against a clear sky, the B-2 can be spotted visually, it's not invisible to the naked eye. If detected, it has no onboard defensive weapons, just countermeasures and evasive maneuvers. So, while it's nearly untouchable in stealth missions, it's vulnerable if caught off guard or flying alone in the wrong airspace. That's why missions are meticulously planned, often at night, with support from tankers, satellites, and reconnaissance. The B-2's strength is its invisibility, but it comes at a high price and high stakes. It won't fly forever either. Its successor, the B-21 Raider, is already in the skies. At first glance, the B-21 looks almost identical, same flying wing, smooth curves, no tail. But it's a new generation. Developed by Northrop Grumman and unveiled in 2022, the B-21 is smaller, cheaper, and easier to maintain. Unlike the B-2's custom parts and climate-controlled hangars, the B-21 uses modular systems and coatings that are faster and cheaper to replace. Designed with China and Russia in mind, it can strike deep targets in high-threat zones with improved survivability. Flight testing began in 2023, and the U.S. Air Force plans to buy at least 100 Raiders, 5 times more than the B-2 fleet. Yet, the B-21 owes everything to the B-2's lessons: same ghost-like profile, same flying wing, still no tail. In the future of warfare, being seen is the ultimate weakness. So, why does the B-2 have no tail? Because it was never meant to be seen. A tail reflects radar, giving enemies a target to lock onto, aim at, and shoot. The B-2 doesn't give that chance. Its shape scatters radar waves, its surface absorbs them, its engines are buried, and its flight path is designed not to impress but to disappear. What it lacks in agility or speed, it makes up for in reach and silence. It doesn't need to fly fast, it just needs to fly unseen. And it does. For over 30 years, it's been the only aircraft that can fly into defended airspace and drop precision bombs without being tracked. With the B-21 Raider coming, that legacy continues: no tail, even fewer traces. Now, we want to hear from you. Do you think other countries will ever catch up and build something to match the B-2? Or is this level of stealth just too far ahead? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you want to support the channel directly, join the fleet. You'll get loyalty badges, priority replies, and help us bring more true aviation and maritime stories to light. Click join on our channel page and hop aboard. Thanks for watching. Stay stealthy.